Okay then guys, what's going on? Cloud Plays here and welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're inside of Diablo 4 where some things are happening, but we want to focus this video on something else. We're going to be talking about patches and 1.1.2 build patch apparently being shown visible, and we're going to talk about the game itself. Now, if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, check out our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favorite flavor is cherry vanilla, but you guys can get an array of flavors down in the description and use code CLOUD for a cheeky discount at checkout. With that being said, let's dive on in. So as you guys will know right now, that as of 6 PM UK time today, patch 1.1.1 has actually gone live. Now, we have done a full breakdown video for you guys on what's inside of it, but for just a quick brief, we have got drop rates at level 35 plus bosses and Legion events always drop a legendary item, and level 15 plus treasure goblins always drop a legendary item. The mob density increased in Nightmare dungeons and Helltides events, and adjusted the stats to make uniques more viable for all classes, and notable buffs to battle trance and gloves of the Illuminator. On top of that, some of the big movements for the Barbarian and Sorcerer is that they've increased the Fury generation and notable buffs to Double Swing, Rupture, Frenzy, and more for the Barbarian. They've increased the damage and survivability and notable buffs to Fireball, Chain Lightning, and more for the Sorcerer. As an overall though, it seems a bit of a lackluster update. I have been playing since around 6 PM on the drop. We've been playing for about 4 hours, and it does obviously hold to its basis. The drop rates have increased. We have got some Legion event gameplay in the background. You can see that we've definitely obviously got from that. The legendaries drop quite nicely there. We're waiting for a Helltide to pop up, and we're going to dive on into that. And the mob density is definitely being increased as we've been jumping into Nightmare dungeons, and it definitely seems a lot more saturated. But with that being said though, the gameplay itself is something that we are going to talk about in just a little bit. Now, the encrypted patch 1.1.2 build appears on Diablo 4 vendor CDN. Now, via an article from Icy Veins, it states with the release of patch 1.1.1 later today, the developers are already working on patch 1.1.2. Blizzard's Diablo 4 development branch has been recently updated with the first internal patch 1.1.2 build 43969. Now, even though the build is encrypted and cannot be data mined, the Diablo 4 team is probably hard at work aiming to release another patch with class tuning before Season 2. And as you can see on this image right here, the account .battle.net Americas US with a different version name of 1.1.2.43969. That is the new build ID for this. It's already been in the works, which is absolutely brilliant to hear because the game bloody needs it. Everybody's ramping and raving based on the comments we had in yesterday's video. Everyone's absolutely loving Baldur's Gate 3. Now, for me, it's not a game that I will be diving into too much. It is a turn-based game and it's just not my cup of tea. But everybody is diving off ship and jumping over to that. And to be completely honest with you, I definitely cannot blame them. At the moment, Diablo 4 is in a bit of a weird state, in a weird place, where the game is kind of a little bit lackluster. Either you are just enjoying the game for what it is and have already or close to hitting level 100, or your friends have all jumped ship for another game and the single player experience is not as fun as the partied experience. Not only that, but we put up a poll on the YouTube community page, which you want to make sure you take a second to check those out, because we do them quite frequently here on the channel, where we spoke about rubber banding and the quality of life within the game. Now, there are a lot of rubber banding issues that have been happening inside of the game as of just recently. This has always been an issue inside of Diablo, but just lately, it's been borderline unplayable. I'm going to stick some gameplay up on screen right now of what I had experienced earlier on today after jumping into the patch, let alone before the patch, we still had these problems. But this is absolutely insane. And the post on the YouTube channel does essentially show that there is obviously more issues issues with the servers than we care to admit. Not only that, but the quality of life inside of the game itself is a little bit lacklustered, and for me, just not as enjoyable as it should be. Patch 1.1.1 was meant to be built to change that, and I still feel like something is missing, although cannot put my finger on exactly what it is. The mob density has made a massive difference, and I feel like you're now being like overly empowered by enemies, which is exactly what we wanted, and that's absolutely fine. But it just kind of feels like it's the same crap, just with more amounts of ads. It's kind of annoying to say the least. In the Helltide, you will notice a lot more difference in it because they kind of were really grouped in and it wasn't too spread out with the density of it. So Helltides will now be a bit more of a viable option for you guys. But the drop rates themselves have dramatically changed, although the statistic issue still stands. So we're now getting a lot more legendary loot with just a shed ton of statistics, and I've spent easily in the last 3 hours of playing. At the time of recording, it's now 9:20 in the evening, and I've been playing since 6 PM and easily spent a good hour and 20 minutes sorting through loot that I've obtained throughout the due course of it, and it's just not seeming to be my cup of tea at all. The game's main stability, although every time we get a patch or an update or a hotfix, always bung at the bottom, stability improvements, although I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm being a proper negative Nancy right now, but I just don't see any stability improvements at all. I actually see the game progressively getting worse for stability, as you saw on screen a minute ago, exactly the crap that I'm having to deal with on a general basis, and this is now coming to the point where it's becoming daily, and I'm waiting for the 15th of August for the game Wayfinder to drop so I can officially move on to another game until we move into the next season of Diablo 4. We're all going to be waiting at this stage, and I think that's something we all need to expect and accept, but that's just neither here nor there. I want to know what your opinions are down in the comment section below. Let me know your viewpoint on Diablo, the experience you're having inside of Diablo, whether it's the community aspect or the gameplay itself, and what your viewpoints are on a basis. And be bloody brutal. I want to get some community conversations going in the comment section. That is unfortunately all we got time for today, and we are at a point where news is now running low on Diablo 4. We will keep them coming up as and when they come through, but the daily Diablo 4 videos may slow down a little bit because news is now becoming a little bit stretched, to say the least. If you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications, and be sure to check out our sponsor Advanced GG, the #1 clinically proven energy supplement on the market. My favorite flavor is cherry vanilla, but you guys will find an array of flavors down in the description. There is a link you can click on and check those out, and use code CLOUD at checkout for a cheeky discount. Thank you so much again for all of your support in the Diablo community so far, and going forward I'm hoping they make some better changes. Thanks again for watching, appreciate you all, and as always, I'll see you in the clouds.